When police officers find themselves in harm's way, they have to really rely on a lot to survive.
Right, instinct kicks in, training and on-the-job experience, but some officers claim in some of the most dangerous moments they've had experiences that they can't quite explain. In a special report, News Channel 3's Josh Rowe takes a look at officers who say they got help from beyond the badge.
Police officers are often in dangerous situations. It's just a part of the job. But oftentimes when something intense does happen, it's hard for officers to describe exactly what did happen and why they reacted in the way that they did.
He gets about 3 shots off before I even realize what's happening.
Steve Sokol has been an officer in Detroit for more than 2 decades. One night, 17 years ago, a routine traffic stop turned into one of the most dangerous nights of his career.
I'm pinned in the car. Bullets are tearing through the hood.
One of the people in that car he pulled over leaned out and started firing at him with a semi-automatic weapon, similar to this one.
He fired a perfect shot, exploding the windshield in front of my face. I could see the glass shatter. At that time, I thought I had been hit. I wasn't, and I realized that the windshield had absorbed the impact and the bullet had deflected over the car, but I knew it wasn't going to take another hit. Started realizing I'm in a bad situation.
That's when he says something happened that never happened to him before, and it's never happened since.
I remember this vividly.
17 years later, it's still hard for him to explain.
It was pitch black. The car fills with a flash of bright golden light. I hear a voice that says, "You won't be harmed. You're going to be fine." Then the car goes dark, and all of a sudden the light reappears in front of the driver's side door and forms what I can only describe as a shield.
Officer Sokol says he then believed something, somehow, would protect him.
I stepped out behind that and began firing at the suspect and emptied everything I had at the suspect. At that time, the driver of the car, fearing for his life, floored the car.
He says the car disappeared down the road, and so did that golden light.
But I believe that it definitely was a higher power that gave me a second chance and gave me the opportunity to come home to my 2 kids.
Steve didn't talk much about what happened to him that night, and he didn't know if it had ever happened to anyone else until he met Ingrid Dean.
I think people in general believe in a higher power, whether they want to call it God or the universe or metaphysical experiences. Police officers as well, even though they don't talk about it much.
Ingrid Dean is a detective sergeant with the Michigan State Police. She holds a master's degree in transpersonal studies, which is a study of anything extending or going beyond the personal or individual.
Transpersonal really means anything beyond our 5 senses.
Dean says things like this happen a lot more than you may think.
Things like clairvoyant dreams, ESP, divine intervention, which I found that many officers really attribute their experience to just that, to divine intervention.
She has just written her first book on the subject, called Spirit of the Badge. It's full of stories from officers, mostly in Michigan, dealing with everything from ghosts to UFO sightings, all trying to explain the unexplainable aspects of police work.
As I began interviewing friends, they shared more and more about the extraordinary, exceptional moments that they've had in police work that they've never shared before.
For some folks, a collection of spiritual police work may be a little hard to believe, but for officers like Steve Sokol, the book lets him know he's not the only one out there with a story.
Is it a natural phenomenon? Could have been. Was it something I imagined? Who knows? I don't know. But vividly, these are the things that I saw, and I can't explain it, but all I can attribute it to is my own personal beliefs, that it was some type of protection from a higher power.
He may never know what actually happened out there that night, but at least for him, he knows he's not alone. Josh Rowe, News Channel 3.
Interesting stuff. And if you'd like to know more about the book, or if you want to tell Sergeant Dean about a story of your own, just go to the links section of our website. That's WWMT.com.
Yes, Sergeant Dean is currently working on a new book.